Good morning. This morning I wanted to cover with you a little bit about when you're buying these investments that people tell you to buy, what you're actually buying, and then kind of give you a little bit of understanding and advice about how to make these decisions and what you should and shouldn't be doing. So let's get right into this real quick. Saw a video from Kevin, from Shark Tank this morning, and he was talking about how he just converted into USDC $7 million and is making a 4% return, and the bank tried to compete with that with 3-year low-grade bonds, and that misunderstanding from the bank about value proposition is reflective of in the 1930s to 35 to 40, when they viewed stocks as more risky than bonds. Now, the interesting thing about that comparison back then was these stocks were paying maybe a 7% dividend when the bonds were maybe paying 3 or 4. And so in actuality, at that point, their perception was stocks were riskier and bonds were safer, but because of those payouts, stocks were actually safer. And that's reflected over a period of time from the people in the returns who bought stocks rather than bonds. Now, so a perception like that can be a situation where you can learn to make money because someone else perceives an asset differently than you do. And so you should have your own perspective on some of these things. And so we'll go through a few of these. Now, the two stablecoins that I have are USDC and GUSD, which are both asset-backed in some way. UST was not asset-backed. It went down to 0. There was a run on the bank, and that's basically how a bank works without FDIC insurance. Is they have money, they lend it out, and they may not have full asset backing. So if everybody tries to take out at once, they can't. And so right now, if you look at a bank, you could do some kind of bonds for 3 years at 30%, or USDC at 4 to 7%, depending on who you are. Now, Kevin could only get 4%, he said, in the USDC, locked for 30 days. Now, right now, you can get 7% on like Blockfi or Celsius platform, but you're taking a little bit more risk there because when you put money on Celsius or Blockfi, your assets are considered their assets. And that just came out in some papers from Coinbase. And so if there was a run on that bank, then you would be a debt holder, not the owner of those crypto assets. And that is an important difference, which introduces more risk to you. So I'm assuming Kevin's trying to avoid that risk by staking the USDC rather than putting it on all those platforms. Now, in the crypto space, Bitcoin is sold as a store of value over time. Is it or not? We'll find out. Ethereum is a smart contract platform, and that it is right now. Smart contracts are executed on that platform. It also was the first platform for NFTs, so some of those huge millions of dollars NFTs are Ethereum based. Solana came along to do cheap, fast payments. It can do 60,000 payments per second. Has problems once in a while, but they're trying to work that out. It also has NFTs, and Polygon and Polkadot are kind of also secondary, solving different payment system issues on the Ethereum platform. Now you also have Cell tokens and CRO, which represent some type of an interest in the profits of Celsius or Crypto.com. So we'll see how those come out, because to me, I consider those to be kind of securities in those companies. And then from a stock standpoint, if you're buying Walmart stock, you're buying a piece of that company. And where they make their money is transporting things through selling cheap. So they sell things cheap, so they have to transport a lot, and they really make their money in the transportation, which is why they just got hit by gas prices, because that's the business they're in transportation. Now, Home Depot is, supplying materials for building and remodels and things. That's what you're buying there. Real estate, two different areas. I'm in real estate, Northwest Arkansas and Kansas City. Northwest Arkansas is kind of a housing play for people. People need houses to live in, and also growth of this area will also be priced in over time to those houses. And in Kansas City, it's kind of just housing. I'm not expecting a lot of growth from those because people are demanding more over time. So the reason it's important to understand these things is if you as a person are going and buying something because someone said you should buy this, okay? Well, then you bought Bitcoin at 60,000 because that's when they were saying to buy it. And at 30,000 you sold it because that's what they're saying to sell it. So if you're buying or making these investment decisions based on what someone else is telling you rather than your understanding, then you're pretty much going to buy high and sell low. And so if that's what you've been doing is losing money in stocks and crypto and whatever you're doing, then that's the reason. So you need to get to a place that you're buying something because of your understanding of the backing behind that. And so that when the price of Walmart adjusts up or down, you can look and say, is that because this is getting to be a worse business to be in? And how long will that last for? So you know whether to buy more or be out of that company. And if you don't do that, you're kind of just gambling with the money and maybe need to find something else to do with your investments. I talk about, real estate. So I understand the backing of this real estate. I understand some of the risks. If, some of the employers in this area go away, then, this will not be a good place to be. Not when it's priced into the market, but immediately. The employers having issues, they might, close at some point, then, I'm out because my reason is not there anymore. Maybe I take a 20% loss, but that's my triggers to buy and sell. And so I wanted you to help you understand that these stable coins are different. These cryptos are different. The stocks are on different things, doing different businesses. And the real estate is different for different areas. And so you're really buying in to that underlying value. And the key is to buy in when the emotion is negative and to sell, if you ever sell, when the emotion is very, very positive on that particular business. And that's the difficult thing to do. So I hope this has helped you and you can use this background advice. It's not specific to a certain stock or a certain area. But I hope you can use this to make your decisions of what you're putting your money in based on what you understand, not based on what people tell you to buy or tell you to sell, not based on the emotion to buy or the emotion to sell, but based on the underlying value of what you're putting your money into and how that changes over time. I'll talk to you all later. Like the video and subscribe. I also keep putting some links in there to some of the things that I read to help me get better perspectives on better decisions for the broad market, also in how I behave in my businesses. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.